So guys, Errol Spence says he would cut weight to fight at 160 against Canelo Alvarez. I made a video about this before and saying I think it would be silly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that this fight makes any sense. If I'm totally honest with you, Errol Spence is saying that he would cut weight. Here's the thing, right? Canelo's naturally fighting in those weight classes, right? And I would say naturally he's a 160 pounder. Thing is with Errol Spence fighting at 147, just because you walking around at 180, that doesn't mean that that's your fighting weight. You know, if Errol Spence is fighting at 147, is because that's his fighting weight. If you were to move up another 13 pounds, right, it'll affect you. It'll affect your speed, the way you move. It'll affect everything. It will affect a lot of Errol Spence's attributes. Just because you think you walk around at 180, that doesn't mean anything. He's a big welterweight, but he's not a big middleweight. You know, he's actually very small. He'll be a very, very small middleweight. He'd even be a small light middleweight. You know, Errol Spence is, what is he? He was a little bit taller than Kell Brook. There's some guys at 154 that are almost 6 foot. And Canelo, listen, Canelo's not 6 foot, he's 5'8", 5'9". But if you look at Canelo's body frame, it's massive. If you look at his thickness of his body, it's massive. You know, Errol Spence is a skinny, long dude. You know, a skinny kind of muscular, but it's not built for a middleweight as far as I'm concerned. And I think just because he's going to cut weight and he's not walking around at 160, that doesn't mean that you can fight at 160. If you're walking around at 180, that's fat. You're not walking around at 180 ripped or walking around at 180 at fighting weight. Because if that was the case, then why are you fighting at light heavyweight then? There's a reason why Errol Spence is fighting at welterweight. There's a reason, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Why his team would say fight at middleweight or fight at light middleweight or fight at super middleweight if you're cutting that much weight. It's because naturally Errol Spence is a welterweight. You know, all fighters, most fighters come down from a heavier weight down to their fighting weight. Very few fighters, only the ones that gifted like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, that moved up so many weight classes, were able to fight at their walking weight. Not many people have that kind of talent where they can fight at their walking weight. You have to be extremely gifted, because what you're doing is you're giving away a lot of natural size, right? So it's like if Errol Spence is saying he's walking around at 180, right? It's like him fighting at light heavyweight, but he couldn't do that. He hasn't got the kind of skills, the kind that those guys had to fight at his walking weight. Those guys were phenomenons. That's why they were able to do that. You know, we're talking about two of the greatest fighters ever. And most of the greatest fighters ever that came from lower weight classes were doing that. They were fighting around at their walking weight. There's very few fighters that can do that. Very few fighters that can do that. So I don't think it would be a good idea for Errol Spence to move to 160 to face Canelo. I think Errol Spence would be in big trouble. Would be in big trouble. And especially now coming after the accident, I would advise him not to do it even more so, because I think that fight is dangerous. For me, it's a crazy fight. Crazy fight. And I don't think people that are handling you know, Errol Spence should be telling him to take a fight like that. It'd be stupid. I think it's just talk. I just think it's all talk. I just think he's trying to use Canelo's name for a little bit of publicity. I don't think he's serious, in my opinion. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, what's going on? Most fans think that Canelo Alvarez will stop Billy Joe or knock Billy Joe out. What do I make of it? Listen, I think it's a good fight. I think Billy Joe Saunders has good skills. He definitely will cause Canelo trouble. But I don't think he'll cause enough trouble where he can win the fight. That's the problem. And Billy Joe's a good fighter. He's got good skills, good movement. But I think eventually Canelo will break him down. break him down over rounds, hit him, throw a lot of punches to his body. And I think it's the body shots that are going to take a toll on Billy Joe Saunders. I think he's going to try to stop his movement. And he's going to do that by breaking down his body, by throwing a lot of punches to the body. And I think Billy Joe Saunders will slow down. And I think the way Billy Joe Saunders has lived is going to come up and catch up with him. Thing is, with someone like Canelo lives the life. I don't think you can say the same for Billy Joe. And I think in a fight of this magnitude, that will come back to bite you, as far as I'm concerned. I think, especially when you're fighting a guy that's very skilled. Now, people say, look at Tyson Fury's. Difference is, I don't think anyone's got near the skill level of Tyson Fury in the heavyweight division. I think Tyson Fury is so much more skilled than everybody else. He probably could get away with it. Billy Joe Saunders is probably fighting someone as skilled, if not more skilled. More skilled in the sense he's more versatile. He can punch, he can box, where Billy Joe Saunders is just a slick southpaw. When you're a slick southpaw, it's all good because you're going to trouble a guy. The problem is, he's not a puncher. So Canelo, after a couple of rounds, if he feels that this guy's not got the power, he's going to start walking Billy Joe Saunders down, starting exerting a lot of physical and mental pressure on Billy Joe Saunders to try and make him fold. I personally think it's going to be the body shots that's going to break Billy Joe Saunders down. I think the body shots are going to hurt Billy Joe Saunders. I think the body shots are going to stop Billy Joe Saunders' legs from moving like he does. And I think he'll become a more easier target for Canelo to land on. I think if Canelo starts landing frequently on Billy Joe Saunders, the writing's on the wall, because Canelo punches really hard. And you don't want to be getting hit by Canelo consistently. Because Canelo has the kind of power that can wipe you out with one punch. He hasn't shown that kind of one-punch knockout power against the bigger men. But Billy Joe Saunders, I don't know. Billy Joe Saunders hasn't shown that he can absorb a big punch against a top-level fighter. I haven't really seen him take a lot of punches. Very hard to hit. Lemieux didn't really catch him, so we don't really know. But I know Canelo will catch him. Somewhere down the line, Canelo will catch him. And if Billy Joe Saunders doesn't take a good shot, he's in big trouble. Not just that, Canelo, like I said, if he's struggling to land on Billy Joe, he starts struggling to land headshots, he's going to go down to the body, and he will catch him to the body. And I think that could be the undoing. You know, he may even knock Billy Joe out with a body shot. Who knows? Who knows? You know, I think that could be a big problem for Billy Joe, taking body shots for someone like Canelo. Because Canelo punches really hard. You know, every shot that he lands takes a toll and is breaking you down. We even saw with Kovalev, who was a light heavyweight. He chipped away, and eventually stopped him in the 11th. You know, Canelo always finds a way. He's very, very versatile. He's very, very good, and he's improving every fight. And I just don't think Billy Joe Saunders, though very slick, very good, and like I said, I hope he goes and does the job. I think eventually Canelo's going to break him down. You know, he's going to break him down. Canelo's very skilled. He's a versatile fighter. He's a complete fighter. He's not just a big puncher. He can box. He can do everything. And I'm not sure Billy Joe can. Billy Joe's a good boxer, but he's not a big puncher. So Canelo's more complete as a fighter. He's got more that he can do. He can switch to many different strategies, where Billy Joe Saunders has got one, and that's to outbox you. Canelo can outbox you. Canelo can have a toe-to-toe with you, and Canelo can knock you out because he's got concussive power. You know, so he can switch up his game plans, where Billy Joe's going to have to fight a perfect fight for 36 minutes where he's looking to outbox him. And even then, he's going to struggle, because if the fight's close, Canelo's probably going to get the decision. So he has to literally outclass Canelo, which I can't see him doing, if I'm honest. But leave your thoughts. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.